All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And peace, love, and salutation to you, Akin, that's pushing this truth and truth sincerity. And this is second as it's the 9th chapter in the new revised standard version, updated edition. More about the signs of the end. And we just had a class on the elder brother Kabash about the end. All right, we're at the end of Esau's age, this age of wickedness. All right, this age of confusion, upheld by Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man. So this is second Ezra 91. He answered me and said, "Measure carefully in your mind, and when you see that some of the predicted signs have occurred, then you will know that it is the very same. Then you will know that it is the very time when the Most High is about to visit the world that He made. So when there shall appear in the world earthquakes, tumult of peoples, intrigues of nations, wavering of leaders, confusion of princes, then you will know that it was of these that the Most High spake from the days that were of old, from the beginning." And I want to focus on, of course, earthquakes. And it's going to be more uproars of the people, tumult of peoples, going into 2027. And another earthquake. You just had one in Colombia last Monday. And then this Sunday, I want to say Saturday, there was an earthquake in Indonesia, where Indonesia's at. It's right here. All right. And this is around the Pacific Ring of Fires. I went into my lesson last week on that earthquake in Colombia. All right. This is where Indonesia is located. So it says nearly 1,000 aftershocks followed Indonesia earthquake that killed at least 53, officials said. A 7.7 magnitude earthquake that struck eastern Indonesia on Saturday, killing at least 53 people, was followed by nearly 1,000 aftershocks, disaster management officials said Sunday. That's a lot of aftershocks. Now, if you've been in an earthquake, you got a few, but 1,000, that is crazy. I mean, we're definitely at the end of Esau's age when you have these major earthquakes happen. Venezuela got hit with back-to-backs a month and a half ago. Japan got hit with a 7.1. Colombia last week. Now Indonesia. So, I mean, what's going to happen next week? And then the weather, pattern is all jacked up. It's extremely hot, which is the summertime, but it's extremely very funny weather patterns. It'll be mild sometime in the summer and then extremely hot. El Nino is on the horizon. It's here. And then we're still in hurricane season. So a lot of so-called natural disasters happening, and it's not Mother Nature. All right, this world likes to put a feminine spin on everything. It's not Mother Nature. It's the God of the Bible. And it reads, rescuers raced to find survivors after the powerful earthquake shook the Flores region at 5:58 a.m. local time Saturday, and it was quickly followed by a second 6.4 magnitude quake that struck the country's western Sumatra island. Authorities said that more than 130 residents were injured and warned that the death toll would almost certainly rise. The United States Geological Survey said the first quake epicenter was 42 miles north-northwest of the city of N in East Nusa Tenggara province. It triggered a tsunami warning that forced coastal residents to move to higher ground, but authorities later lifted the alert after monitoring showed no significant sea level changes. Yeah, you can imagine, all right, all types of deletions when stuff like this happens, man. It says the head of the Natural Disaster Management Agency, Shuhar Yanto, said rescuers recovered at least 47 bodies Saturday immediately following the quakes, mostly in Sika, Manggarai, and East Manggarai. Rescue teams in eastern Indonesia recovered 6 more bodies Sunday, raising the death toll to 53. And it's probably in the hundreds right now. Like I said, media, they don't like to give you the actual numbers. It says authorities said as many as the thousands of displaced people spent the night outdoors in fear of aftershocks. Authorities have since recorded at least 995 aftershocks, but only 46 were felt by residents, said Abdul Muhari, the National Disaster Management Agency chief for disaster prevention. The largest recorded aftershock had a magnitude of 6.2. And I'm kind of seeing what else happened this week. I believe there was an earthquake somewhere in Central America. I gotta find it, but there's a lot of things that's going on, and it's signaling in the end of Esau. And I know there's something going on in Spain. Yeah, something going on, and then you had the you know, a lot of extreme hot weather. All right, in Europe, it says more than 300,000 people fled wildfires in Spain and France as winds and high temperatures made the fires hard to control. In Spain, a state of emergency was declared, and nearly 60,000 people had been evacuated from the Madrid and the Via regions. Let's read this. It says 2 large wildfires kept Spanish emergency services stretched on Friday with a particular threat to popular tourist areas in the southwestern province of Huelva. It says the flames by the small town of Nibla, 60 kilometers southwest of Seville, have already engulfed 31,000 hectares, according to regional government of Andalusia. So that got to be in South Spain. Andalusia is in South Spain. However, the situation has improved, said Regional Vice President Antonio Sanz. A large part of the fire front is now under control, and there is no longer an immediate threat to towns and villages, Sanz told a press briefing. In contrast, the situation has worsened near Las Penas de Riglos in Spain's northeastern Aragon region, following the reignition of several fires. 4 more villages with a total of 127 inhabitants were evacuated overnight. So you got wildfires in Spain. All right. Let me check out something else as well. There was an earthquake in Spain. There we go. Earthquake rocks Spain's tourist jewel Granada. Spain getting hit up. Right, there's a lot of Israelites in Spain as well. It's from August 15th, 2026. Spain's cherished tourist hotspot of Granada was shocked on Saturday after a rare 5.0 magnitude earthquake woke residents in the middle of the night and damaged buildings. But officials confirmed no casualties or serious damage, notably to the southern city's Alhambra Palace, a UNESCO-listed jewel of medieval Islamic architecture and the seat of Spain's last Muslim kingdom. Because, you had, we all know through history, the Moors, which were Jakes who followed Islam, all right, lived in Spain and Portugal, all right? And the first port of slave ships, all right, were from Spain and Portugal. So there's a lot of Israelites that, all right, were in Spain and Portugal, just like there are now. It says the tremor took place shortly after 1 a.m. with its epicenter in the town of Al Hinden, 6 miles south of Granada, according to the National Geographic Institute. Cracks have appeared, elements such as ledges, rubble, and walls have fallen, and damage have been reported in some buildings, Andalusian Emergency Services said in a statement. So, you got a major earthquake in Indonesia, then you got a 5.0 in Spain. Let me see if there's something going on in Mexico. Yeah, I don't really see too much as far as today, but you can go to this website right here. It's called the United States Geological Survey, usgs.gov. You can go to latest earthquakes and see what happened today. You still got a 5.0 in Indonesia, a 4.9 in Indonesia, another 4.9 in Indonesia. All right, at 5.4 in Indonesia. All these aftershocks in Indonesia. Look at this. Aftershocks. All these aftershocks in Indonesia. So we're definitely at the end of Esau's age. All right. Well, all these earthquakes in diverse places. Like it says in St. Matthew. Let's get that one. St. Matthew 24 and verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples of Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, came unto him probably saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of the coming and the end of the world? All right, because there's 3 different types of world in the New Testament, which Christians, they don't go into that, and they've been learning from us, but they won't admit it. They won't look this up on no Sunday church service, man. It's just all fluff. Yeah, bring the kids, we're gonna have food. They always bombard you with food. This is a spiritual food, all right, for you Israelites. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and you ones that scattered. This is the real food. These churches, they're going to slowly transition to Halloween parties. Because Halloween is the next holiday that's coming up. You go to these stores, they already got the Halloween stuff set up. All right, so at the church, they're not going to feed you with these definitions. All right, it's going to give you food and, feel good. Meanwhile, there's all chaos. There's all types of chaos going on in the world.
Strong's G165, Ion.
And it reads, the best definition is period of time and age. So this is the end of an age. The disciples were asking Yahushua, and we're at the end of this age. All right, we're at the end of Esau's world. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I'm the anointed, and shall deceive many. Now there was something from this class that the elder brother Kabash had. Just bear with me for a sec. It says common signs linked to the phrase the end of the world, hard times, people acting selfish, greedy, or mean. I mean, yeah, these people are selfish, man. It's all about them. All right, I think it tells you that in 2 Timothy. We're in perilous times, and that's how people will act. It says global chaos, wars, earthquakes. We just mentioned earthquakes, right? And food shortages. Spiritual drift, false teachers, and people turning away from God. And that's what you see. These guys, these people, these unbelievers say, they're turning to witchcraft. They're denouncing being a Hebrew Israelite. They're staying in Christianity. You got a lot of black atheists out here. You got ninjas who say there's no God. You learned that from your daddy, Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man. And the scriptures say the fool said in his heart, there is no God. And you're going to see judgment. For all you atheists out there, you're going to see the judgment of God. And his name is Yahweh. And you're going to know that Yahweh did it because you probably scrolled on one of these videos and said, oh, I don't believe in God. Well, Yahweh's going to bring that earth. If he sends you an earthquake. And as we went into that camp, there's many fault zones in America. So it's not far-fetched for the Lord to send an earthquake through Atlanta, Georgia. And hopefully he does, man. To give you Negroes and Hispanics here a wake up moment. All right, it says, for many shall come in my name, saying, I'm the anointed, and shall deceive many. It says, false teachers and people turning away from God. That's what you're seeing here in these latter times. And you shall hear wars and rumors of wars. That's what it said in that article. Chaos. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines. There's shortage of food. There's going to be shortages of water. Look at Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico has a water emergency. All right, the United Nations declared a water bankruptcy. So what do you think Esau is trying to do? What's all the plans of the Heavenly Father? Take away the water. You see various lakes and rivers here in the United States drying up. Pestilences, all right, diseases on the horizon. And earthquakes in diverse places, earthquakes in different places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Let's get this word beginnings. It's beginning.
Strong's G 746. Arche.
Okay. Beginning, origin. The person or thing that commences, the first person or thing in series, the leader. The extremity of a thing. So this is only the origin or the beginning of sorrows. This is only the beginning. And we'll see what 2027 has in store, but there's also September, October, November, December, so there's more judgment coming.
Strong's G 5604. Odin,
the pain of childbirth, travail pains, birth pains, intolerable anguish in reference to dire calamities precede the event of the Messiah. So before the Messiah, Yahushua, comes back, you're going to see all this, wars and rumors of wars. All right, you still got this war going on in the Ukraine. That started in 2022, if I'm not mistaken. 2021, something along those lines. Let's look that up real quick. February 24, 2022. So we're almost 5 years since this invasion of the Ukraine has started. Okay? People aren't paying attention to that. Another one. The war with Iran started on February 28, 2026. So that's February, March, April, May, June, July. Damn near 7 months since this happened. So we're starting to see only the beginning of sorrows. So, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. There's going to be more earthquakes and uproars of the people. Hey, this year, we only got 4 months left, so most likely we're going to see more uproars of the people. And the people came here for the World Cup. But sooner or later, these people are gonna turn up, man. Over their government, the way of living. All right, because we're at the end of Esau's age, and everything has to go sour in this society for the Israelites to come up and rule, which it'll be peace on earth for the Israelites, and you heathens gonna enjoy it according to Proverbs 29:2. Except for Esau. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom.